everybody. Welcome back to the Film Buds podcast. This is our 12th bonus show, and my name is Henry. No Chloe this time around. She wishes she could be here, but joining us after a long hiatus is my friend Paul Davis. Paul?
Happy to be here again, Henry. I think the last time I was here was...
the DC...
Yeah, almost a year ago?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
He was on the DC Cinematic Universe bonus show, and it's nice to see you again. We haven't talked really, or at least seen each other since that, so it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's been a hectic time, so...
It's been quite a year.
Yeah.
This time around, we are going to be talking the Hellboy franchise, specifically Hellboy and Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, the two Guillermo del Toro films, and then the 2019 Hellboy reboot with David Harbour and Sasha Lane. And who knows, we might touch on some other stuff. Paul is a big comic book aficionado and graphic novels. That's your thing. So, we'll see. Thank you so much for, I can't talk today. Thank you so much for donating and downloading. It goes to help support the show. Well, how's it going, Paul? What's new?
It's going pretty well. I've been working. I spent, a year as a teacher. Right now, I'm spending some time working as a writer on another podcast, same show, that's hosted by another friend of mine who also is a UNCG alum. Actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, School of Business. So I've just been doing that. I've always liked Hellboy, the comics. I started reading the comics from the movies. And I have way back when. I think this was like my junior year of high school, so like 10-ish, going on 11 years ago.
Yeah.
I have from Heroes Con here in Charlotte a signed Mike Mignola Hellboy comic.
Nice.
So it's a prized possession of mine.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So I was really looking forward to watching these. I hadn't seen the David Harbour one yet. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's where I started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I with Hellboy, it may have been, because I didn't watch the first two until college. It may have actually been you just in conversation that caused me to watch them. We'll get to it. I don't have a whole lot of connection to it other than it being in a genre that I like, but there's something about them that is just very interesting and has always brought me back to it. And I'm really excited to talk about him because, there's not a whole lot of Hellboy relevance right now, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Just talking movies. So that's cool. Well, we have a lot to talk about. Anything else you want to mention beforehand?
God, no. I think that Hellboy 1 might have been my first Guillermo del Toro movie, like, overall.
Right.
Just in general. And I don't know how many people that's the case for. I know a lot of people started, like, Pan's Labyrinth, which is fine. It's a great film. It's a good starting point.
Yeah.
No, this is I understand why, you think that it's... You refer to it as special, and I think that definitely is the case, but... we'll have to dig deep into why that is once we get going.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, I guess we can get into the first Hellboy, which came out in 2004, and it's directed by Guillermo del Toro. It stars Ron Perlman, John Hurt, Selma Blair, Rupert Evans, Carl Roden, Jeffrey Tambor, Doug Jones, and many others. And the synopsis is: a demon raised from infancy after being conjured by and rescued from the Nazis grows up to become a defender against the forces of darkness. So this one made $99.8 million against a budget of around $60 million. So not a big hit commercially, but that's kind of that's the Hellboy thing, it looks like.
Yeah, that's Guillermo's thing. I think, potentially.
Yeah. Well, Paul, I guess since you are the more well-versed, do you want to kick things off?
Sure. I mean, I love the plot description because I think that it makes the movie sound a lot more epic than it is.
Yeah.
And like the Hellboy movies definitely have like, you know, the Guillermo ones definitely have like fun set pieces, especially the second Hellboy film has like some really great action pieces. The first one does too. But it makes it sound so grand, so epic, and then you start watching it and like it's very heavily centered around character drama.
Yeah.
You know, he really digs into Hellboy's relationship with his father, you know, with Liz, you know, how he's challenged by this awkward, twerpy guy, you know, Jonathan. And then every once in a while you get interrupted by Rasputin doing evil things. And like, that's really how I feel about the first Hellboy. And that's not a bad thing, but you know, that plot synopsis, and that's also probably why it didn't perform, you know, outstandingly, is, you know, it's like I wanted a demon fighting Nazis and the other forces of evil, you know, Indiana Jones with a stone fist, and I got Amelie with a demon.
Basically.
So, what do you think?
Well, as I mentioned, I saw these back in college for the first time, and I'll go ahead and say it. I did not like them when I first saw them. I don't know. I thought they were kind of dull, a little cheesy, a little too cheesy for me, and I kind of wrote them off. But something about them stuck with me, and I felt the urge to rewatch them. And so I probably have rewatched them once a year, and each time they go up. Especially having rewatched all three this week, you see the difference.
Yeah,
the big differences between Del Toro and the Neil Marshall reboot. I like the first Hellboy. It's Guillermo del Toro, and it's maybe more so the second one, but he has such a great eye for not only character designs but using them sparingly. And so like he'll, you know, inject an amazing character or creature for 2 or 3 minutes in a film, and then they'll be gone. And so rewatching them, you're just kind of like waiting for those moments in a good way, you know. And in this, the Rasputin, or the not him, the surgical
Cronin,
that character design is incredible, and so many interesting ideas. I really wish that he was in it more. But I like Ron Perlman a lot. One thing with Del Toro, I don't always love his humor. That would probably be my least favorite thing about a lot of his movies. It doesn't really do that much for me. I like the first Hellboy. I don't know if it's, you know, a favorite or best of for me, but I still enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah, that first Hellboy, for me, I think the elephant in the room whenever I have to talk with anyone about the first Hellboy is the Jonathan Myers character.
Yeah.
He's just a wet blanket, and not even in a funny way like Manning, you know, the other head of the Bureau. He's just boring. He's just there to be a moralist and a Boy Scout, and that's a thankless job. And the Evans, the actor of Myers, does the best that he can with a pretty thankless part. But talk about an uphill battle. I think Cronin's one of the best parts of the first Hellboy villain-wise. The other thing that I really enjoy is, of course, the Hound of Resurrection. I love the design. I love that it's oftentimes a dude in just a suit with mechanical attachments who's doing his best to look like an animal. Rasputin is fine.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
The first Hellboy is not, it is not the Hope Diamond, right? This thing is not pristine and precise and beautiful. It's got some spots, some cracks, some stains, some fades. But no, I think that what it really nails is Hellboy. It's kind of like the first Captain America movie. What it really nails is your hero. Like, you want Hellboy to succeed. You're with him on the journey. You want him to stop acting like a child all the time. Because you do see, like, those brief little glittering moments that the other characters get to see. And yeah, as far as design, the real world of it is all very stark and staid. And then you just get this big, perfectly colored in every single scene, red figure that's just striking with the right trench coat, the right silhouette. And, the look of Abe, the Ichthyosapien, he absolutely nails it. He nails that sort of comic book aesthetic. But in that first movie, it is also considerably darker. It's a very gray and blue tone color palette. It's not as visually striking, out of the three Hellboys. For me, it's kind of, it is a great starting point. It's a great handshake, but it's hard to make an introduction ultra compelling.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've been having an influx of origin stories recently, and I appreciate this one for coming out the time that it did when there weren't that many, but it still doesn't really change the fact that it's not always that interesting.
Yeah. Well, and I'm glad that you brought up the time frame. If we put it in context, 2004. So this is like 4 years after the first Spider-Man. Yeah. A few years after the second one. We're in between X-Men films. We're in between Spider-Man films. Batman Begins comes out next year.
Yeah, I think so.
And so when you look at it in comparison to like everything that was coming out alongside it at the time, this is actually, I think, really one of the glowing examples of a film that really hit it out of the park. If I compare it to like X-Men 1. And I love Batman Begins, but I rewatched it recently and I was like, I could have cut a few minutes out of this.
Yeah.
So, I love them. They're great. But yeah, when you put it in terms of its context, like this is even more, I think, of a hitter. It doesn't age as well as I would like, but yeah, when you put it back in 2004, this was like, oh man, this is great. This is the guy that did Blade 2, bringing us another awesome, edgy sort of night figure superhero.
Yeah. One thing that you brought up, there are, and it's very much of the time, there are too many color filters in this movie. like Twilight did it a couple years later, that blue filter, and that's the same thing in this. It's constant. I just don't like it. It doesn't look very good. And thankfully they changed that in the sequel, but I don't always love the look of it. And, the CG is a bit dated at times, but the one great thing about Del Toro is that he almost always tries to use practical effects. And so that's why I think so many elements of these films hold up, even more so than the reboot, which just came out a year ago.
Yeah, it looks like trash already.
Yeah.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Its time will come.
Yeah. What do you think of the romance of Hellboy? Do you think
I mean, it's. I find love triangles often a little trite. Because I know for a fact that Liz isn't going to end up with John. This is the only time that a love triangle has surprised me was probably Hunchback of Notre Dame when I was a child, and she didn't end up with Quasimodo. So, it's fine. It's a good base. We get to see these characters. I at least understand Selma Blair's perspective. I think she does have, in this movie at least, better chemistry with Myers than Hellboy. Maybe that's just, she's not comfortable with the process and of talking to, this person who's head to toe red. And maybe that was causing her a little bit of a disconnect, but it's one of the weaker elements of the first Hellboy, I would probably say.
Yeah, it's maybe it's maybe a product of the time. I don't know, but it's even in the sequel though. I think that's my least favorite part. It just feels almost obligatory because it's a blockbuster. You know, Selma Blair in this I like, and I like the character. They're an interesting, you know, like this internal, or I guess hers is more internal anger and anxiety, whereas his is of course more outward, I guess, just because of his appearance and how those balance each other out, which is interesting. But as for the actual love story, you know, I could, that could be lost.
It is better than 1 year later, Rachel and Bruce in Batman Begins.
Oh, for sure. I do love the opening sequence, the origin of Hellboy, where there's the portal and all of that. I think, and since it's done again in the reboot, I love it in this. It's stylized, it's over the top. The costumes and everything about it, I think are great. John Hurt, always wonderful. R.I.P. He's just such a figure of, I don't know, of comfort. I feel like when he's on screen, it's like there's just an understanding, and not just in this movie. I think he just has that great presence.
He does, you know. Whether I need him to be warm, whether I need him to be cold, you know, he's very good at immediately really bringing that into a room with whatever character he is. With Broom, he's always warm. He's always fatherly. He always feels, you know, how I want Professor Broom to feel. And yeah, you know, all the way back when I was a kid, when he was Mr. Ollivander, he walked in. I didn't know what to make of him. Was he a good guy? Yeah. Was he a bad guy? I don't know. He was a little odd. Yeah. But John Hurt does just have that presence, and that ability to just kind of be there. As a little funny side note, not related to Professor Broom, but related to Abe. So the first movie, the body is Doug Jones, who does creature work for Guillermo all the time.
Right.
But the voice is David Hyde Pierce, who was, of course, in Frasier and Down with Love.
I didn't know that. That was driving me crazy. When I first saw this, I was thinking, that's David Hyde Pierce. I know it is. And then I saw the cast. I was like, and it drove me crazy, but that's so comforting to know that it was him.
And they brought him in, and, you know, he agreed to do it, but ultimately he wasn't quite sure why he was there. And so the reason that he's not in the second one is because he legitimately just didn't think that he had a need. And that's why the second one is just Doug Jones.
Right.
Who does just as great of a job, if not better.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Abe Sapien character overall?
You know, I really like him in this. It was a shame to see him wasted in the third Hellboy movie, Shape of Water. I was very sad to see him.
I was going to ask.
So, no, I love Abe. I love his design. And, you know, he does that a lot. He didn't direct it, that Tooth Fairy movie with Katie Holmes, where it's like the things in the house. Yeah. And those are the almost verbatim design for the Tooth Fairies that get released at the auction house.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I guess I can't fault him. I guess there is a chance that these are all in the same world, because I'm sorry, those are the same creature. You can't tell me otherwise. But no, I love Abe. I think that the design of him is great. I like it better in the second movie, where I get to see him more, because in that first movie they just stick him in the tank or underwater all the time.
Yeah.
Especially when he ends up all Luke in episode 5 in the back to just sitting there. Let me just read things from this tube.
Well, so I guess some sequences I do really like. Cronin in the museum, I guess it is. And that sequence, as well as, honestly, anytime he's like flailing his blades, it's amazing. Like the sound design, the choreography, all of that I love. And so excited when he's back on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but for Rasputin, he doesn't totally win it over for me, but that's okay.
I can't think of like a single moment other than him maybe opening the portal where I'm like, wow, this is cool as hell. Like, this is the thing. Cronin, he's got all sorts of different cool face masks, that sort of steampunk aesthetic. It's got the Darth Maul effect. It's that cool, silent, badass feel. The Nazi chick is fine. She's the Nazi chick from Raiders.
Yeah,
it's our Last Crusade, not Raiders. She's fine.
All right.
Sequence-wise, the best sequences for me in the first Hellboy. His birth are great. Cronin in the museum's wonderful. I like the fight with Samael in the subway.
Yes.
It's great. It's a guy in makeup, oftentimes against a dude in a suit, and it just looks awesome because he knows how to shoot it and make it look good. And he knows how to make CG. He knows to put CG in the shadows. He's like, I can't make it look great. Put it in darkness. So
just look at Pacific Rim. That whole movie is just in the dark.
Darkness and rain, so it'll cover all your sins. I enjoy the look of him when he finally, has the horns and the flaming helmet. That's always one of my favorite moments. Yeah. But in terms of like true visual spectacle, this one is definitely pretty light on it. I mean, for me, this is definitely, I'd say it's my middle of the pack of the three.
Same here.
Yeah, it's my hard second.
Yeah. One joke, even though I don't love his humor in the subway sequence where he goes, second date, no tongue.
Yeah.
that's one that's I got a good giggle from that. But yeah, the subway sequence is great. Del Toro, like, even when you can kind of see his inspirations, they're from a place of love and passion. They're not just like, here, I'm just going to rip off this movie or that movie. It's like, even if it doesn't always excel in taking elements from other films or other filmmakers, it's like, there's just something about him that feels so appreciative of his idols and other filmmakers. And I think it really comes through in this movie, even if it doesn't nail every part of it.
Yeah, for sure. This was a great base. It was a great starting point. And he, I think, knew exactly where he wanted to go, but he had to start somewhere. And I think that he knew that he just had to kind of swallow the exposition pill of Hellboy 1 so that he could really do the sort of things that he really wanted to do with the character.
Yeah. In terms of his inspirations, I could be completely wrong, but the scene where John Hurt is examining Cronin, it almost made me think of Seven with the body in the bed. Like things like that are, whether it's a nod to that or not, I don't know, but it feels palpable. Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure that if we did a deep dive, and I think that you see a lot more of it, especially in like the second one.
Yes.
I'm sure that if we did a real deep dive into this first one, we would find especially all sorts of references to, World War II films for that early sequence. Because that early sequence especially feels very Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Which almost feels like something that Neil Marshall taps into as well for that sequence. But again, we'll get to that later.
Not as successful.
No. So... but no, he had to start somewhere, and this was as best a place to start as you could hope for, I think.
Yeah.
Especially in 2004.
Yeah. All right, well, anything else about the first Hellboy? Brutal soundtrack in this one.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, my God. Very aggressive soundtrack. That was something that me and Lauren both talked about, was that the soundtrack was so painfully early 2000s. I mean, I'm talking right up there with Spider-Man 1 and 2 level of early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for bringing that up. Oh, God. No, but no, it's good. I like it. Watch it if look, nothing new is coming out. What do you have to lose?
No, that's very true. Yeah. All right. Well, out of 5 stars, Paul, for Hellboy 1?
3.
All right. I'll go 3.5, I think.
Okay,
3.5.
that's fair.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the sequel, which is Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, released 4 years later. And of course, this one is also directed by Del Toro. It stars basically the same cast, aside from also adding James Dodd, Seth MacFarlane, Luke Goss, Anna Walton, Brian Steele. And the synopsis is: the mythical world starts a rebellion against humanity in order to rule the earth. So Hellboy and his team must save the world from the rebellious creatures. Not the best synopsis there, but that's okay.
A rebellion from the magical world. It's one guy. It's one very pale man. And his orcish odd job, Mr. Wink.
Yeah. Well, this one had a slightly bigger budget. It made $168 million against a budget of around $84 million. So still not a big financial hit, but was received pretty well critically, as the first one was for the most part. What's your thoughts on this one, Paul?
So it's such a leap forward in pretty much everything that I liked about the first Hellboy. And actually rewatching it, like, structurally, there are a lot of elements about Hellboy 2 that are very similar. We have Hellboy being challenged by a new agent that's meant to be his handler. We have Hellboy dealing with the relationship with Liz. We have a bad guy who's trying to get a doomsday weapon to reshape reality and humanity, wipe everyone out. And he's got a big, monsterish counterpart. And then there's also a woman figure as well. So it's kind of like a 3 and 3 dynamic.
Yeah.
But that being said, that sounds like a really bad critique. That sounds like I'm ripping on the movie for ripping on itself beat for beat. But what I think that the movie really does well is it expands on the relationships. It doesn't do the classic sequel thing of, let's break the characters up again. Liz and Hellboy are still together. They still get to grow. And again, the first one was a character drama. The second one is still ultimately a character drama with much better action set pieces interspersed throughout it. Much more memorable moments, much more memorable character design, because in this one he can finally really do, I think, what he wanted to do, which was investigate the weird world. So we get the troll market, we get the giant elemental god monster that comes out of the ground. He gets to really expand on and do, I think, all of the things that he really had always wanted to do with these characters, but couldn't in the first one. It's solid Empire Strikes Back effect,
very much so.
The stakes are higher, the characters are developing further, we're going to break up the gang. Abe is going to go and hang out with the princess, and Liz is going to, deal with her whole dynamic of what she wants to do with Hellboy, and Hellboy's going to be the pure Han Solo of it all, just trying to figure out what's going on and where he fits in with it all. But I think it does a lot better. I think that, what's his name? The princess. Or the prince. Prince Nuada, I think is his name.
Yeah. Yes.
He is a much better bad guy than Rasputin. That's a low bar.
I agree. It's a low bar.
But he's much better. He's much more interesting. he gets to interact more with Hellboy in a more meaningful way than just always showing up and being like, "Waha, I am Russian bad guy. Join me, Hellboy."
Yes.
But no, I really enjoy it. And again, to put it in context real quickly, 2008. So by now we've had X-Men: The Last Stand.
Sadly.
And Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
So, God, you want to talk about an oasis in a desert. Hellboy, The Golden Army. I think
this did come out. No, Iron Man 1 came out in 2007, correct?
It's 2007, 2008. It's around that time.
Iron Man, let me see. 2008. So these both came out the same year, it looks like. So
okay.
Marvel was just getting going, or the cinematic universe was just getting going.
So this was really kind of a dry spell, honestly, for comic book films. I mean, we had Dark Knight. That was another great one at this time.
Yeah.
But as far as comic book movies, this was definitely kind of a dry spell. Blade 3 was more in recent memory. So this film at the time was incredible, but even now I think it holds up as one of the better comic book movies that you can hold up.
Yeah.
I think that it's got the source material right. I think it has the characters right. I think it has the feel right. It still has some pacing and some flow issues, but what Guillermo movie doesn't?
Yes, that's very true.
So you take the good with the bad.
Yeah. That, and touching on the characters, that is one thing I wanted to mention earlier. That really is why these movies succeed so much more than the reboot.
Yes,
they're so character driven, and there is a plot that occasionally jets in, but it always feels like that's the characters are what's driving the story.
Absolutely,
and that's of course what you want most of the time. So
yeah, I mean, if there is anything that is saving this film, and it certainly doesn't need saving, but if there is anything that is just like single-handedly kind of carrying it along, it's probably Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
However, he and Doug Jones have great chemistry. And the chemistry is better in this between him and Abe because we're getting Ron and Doug interacting instead of Ron and Doug interacting and David coming in and doing a voiceover.
Yeah.
And so we're really getting them bonding in these scenes. Them in the library is probably... The humor is better in this one.
It is, yes.
Them singing in the library drunk together. Good, fun moment.
Yes.
What do you think?
I like this one a lot, and it really, as I said earlier, it has just gone up and up over the years. The character designs and the world building, like Del Toro is firing on all cylinders here. Like the troll market, amazing.
Yeah.
Like, and then also I don't even know what you would call it. The Black Angel towards the end, the winged creature, all of that is amazing. It's just like these, as I mentioned, it's like these little injections of amazing character designs and creature designs. It just adds so much to the world, and it feels so vibrant and full of life, which is, even these days with the amount of comic book films we've had since, it still looks way better and feels more like a movie, a self-contained movie, than so many others like it, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, I recently got a 4K TV, and so I was like, if I'm going to sit down and watch all three of these, I don't have them with me. All my movies are back in my apartment in Texas, and so I was like, if I'm gonna sit down and watch these, I might as well just rebuy them. I'm having to buy the third one anyway, and if I'm having to give money to the third one, then I'm giving money to the other two. It's more deserving. Watching the entry into the troll market in 4K, I was like, Diagon Alley in Philosopher's Stone, Sorcerer's Stone doesn't have shit on this. Like, just that one moment was just so great and so cinematic and so thought out that I was like, fuck the cantina, screw Diagon Alley. What is Maz's castle even? Like, this is great.
That's the thing. Like, you can see where his inspirations are coming from, but it's like, Jesus, Del Toro. Like, but it's amazing, really amazing.
No, and again, this movie compared to the other one, so many more memorable moments and ideas. Big Baby, the chasing up the letters as this giant creature just sort of spreads nature, and then its whole tragic sort of beautiful death. It becomes this massive flower. Great stuff. Like, fantastic work. Really, really well done. And way better color. Both movies are
totally.
It's color by deluxe, and I know this because it was really funny. Lauren, my fiance, and I, we were watching a movie recently, and we got to the end credits to watch like a post-credit scene, and it was color by Technicolor. And she was like, "Oh, what a surprise! Color by Technicolor." And I was like, "Color does every once in a while get done by a different house." And she was like, "Does it really?" And I was like, "Yeah, every once in a while." And so then we got to the end of the first Hellboy, and it was color by deluxe. And I was like, "Ha, see?" And Hellboy 2 is color by deluxe as well. But clearly Guillermo had, I think, like a better sense of what he wanted to do with color, because it's so much more impactful and meaningful in this film. Also, kind of a breakaway star for me for Hellboy 2. I think it's maybe his best acting that he's ever done. Seth MacFarlane as Johann Kraus.
Yes.
Top notch.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like constantly reminding myself, wait a minute, this is Seth MacFarlane.
It's probably the only time I like Seth MacFarlane is when I can't see him.
So the Orville is a real struggle for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's like something like Logan Lucky or something. Like seeing that it's him, it's just too distracting. It's not that he gives it's not that his performances are all bad. It's just that something about him is so distracting. Just
it's like
knowing that it's
Tyler
him.
Perry.
A little bit, yeah.
When he's not doing like a Tyler Perry thing. Like when I see Tyler Perry in Vice, I'm like, what the hell? Where are you?
Yeah. Like, and then seeing him in Gone Girl as well.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry. Like, he's amazing in it, but it's so weird to see him in that.
Yeah, him in Star Trek.
Yeah. Totally.
I'm like, Tyler, you're doing a great job, but did you just walk on here and no one told you no? Like, did you end up here on accident?
But he's great, and that's another amazing, memorable character that you just don't see that often anymore. It's like you can see there's real care being put in those designs, and it's like a smorgasbord of different elements and ideas. It's so interesting to watch.
Well, there's only honestly one character in the second Hellboy movie that really just does not work for me on any level, and it's the princess.
Yeah.
She is so just there to give some stakes, to get the piece into the prince's hands. Heavy plot device character.
Yeah.
And, whoever is under that makeup, she does her job admirably. This is, again, it's a thankless part like Jonathan Myers. Like, you were solidly pissing uphill with this character for yourself. Like, you were so working hard for no other reason than you have to. Because if you don't, it's just going to be worse. It's going to be so much worse.
Yeah. Yeah, she's not amazing in it. I do like the brother, though, the prince. His performance and the design of the character is very interesting. And what you said about they have more meaningful interactions with Hellboy is a very large mark in the movie's favor, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, like, I don't really have a lot of negative notes on Hellboy 2.
Yeah.
I really think it's a pretty strong gold standard of a comic book movie, of a Hellboy movie. And it's definitely more of what I would have wanted with the character. But unfortunately, even with a pretty solid social media push by Ron Perlman, they couldn't get Lionsgate to bite on a third one. With Guillermo, they got them to bite on a third one.
Yeah. That worked out so well.
Oh yeah, you gave the people what they wanted. It's Community without Dan Harmon all over again.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't really have a whole lot of negative points aside from there are a couple pacing issues for sure. It's a bit long. The third act maybe goes on a little long. I think that final fight is a little extended, but not a big deal. The leaf flower creature, that whole fight is great. What was the other one?
Him versus the troll in the market.
Yeah, that's great. The fairy attack in the house, all of that, how it's shot, the look, the score is better in this one. Not a great soundtrack, still brutal.
That's one thing I have. One of my favorite sort of like running gags throughout this movie is the bombastic, like, this is the hero entrance music as Hellboy completely whiffs the entry. And so, it's the big bombastic hero music, and it's him getting himself up out of the rubble pile and, dusting himself off. And, hey! It's just the opposite of graceful. And that was one of my favorite moments that had me laughing regularly, was just and here's the big music, and here's the big entry, and he whiffed it.
Yeah. And with Ron Perlman, it's one of those performances that he truly is that character, so you aren't even really thinking about how good he is.
Yeah.
He seems so at home in that role. Even in the first one, really. I'm not even thinking about that being one of the best parts of the movie. Because it's like, it's out of your mind because it's so natural.
Yeah, he's just in it. It's right up there with Robert Downey as Tony Stark, with Heath Ledger as the Joker. Like, it is a full integration of character.
Yeah, or Downey as Doolittle.
That was fully integrated in a way, I suppose. It was integrated with drugs and alcohol, but it was fully integrated.
Yeah. Yeah, the troll market scene, there are just so many designs, and it's so as you said, the humor is better, so I was laughing more in this one. The fake death of Seth MacFarlane's character, that the batting of the locker doors and all that stuff is great.
Well, and I love that he then takes it like his ethereal shape and then like truly struts out of the room.
Yeah. I guess the only one criticism I have of this, and she's not in it a whole lot, I don't love Selma Blair in this.
Okay.
I think her performance just doesn't feel that invested. I don't know if that's more so the script or something, but and maybe that's tied to the love story, but she's just kind of there. I don't really fault her for that, but I think in the scenes where she has to be very emotional, she doesn't totally sell it for me. But again, that's a small part of the film. Otherwise, it's just it's a great sequel. I can't wait for the third one,
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll get it.
Yeah.
Maybe. crazier things have happened. We got a sequel to T2 after 3 other.
Yes, we did. Yes.
So,
Well, I'm trying to think if there's anything else in particular about this one.
Not really.
Anything else for you, really?
No, I mean, it's great. Doug Jones does a great job. You know, it's a really great comic book film, and it's a great comic book film if you want to watch something that isn't an adaptation from one of the big 2 houses.
Yeah. It also, because of the year that it came out, it's before everything needed to be a cinematic universe.
Yeah.
You know? And while there are bits of setup and follow-ups in this movie, it's like it feels so weird watching something that you're not constantly thinking, okay, this is for, you know, Captain America 7 8 years from now. You know, it just is as self-contained as a sequel could be. Yeah. You know?
Absolutely.
And one brief or quick character design that I love is the guy towards the end with no legs.
Oh, the troll.
The troll guy. Yeah. Him. That's just classic Del Toro genius. You know, it's just, and as we've touched on, you just don't see that very often in big blockbusters, especially.
No, absolutely. I mean, and even if we saw it in a big blockbuster, odds are it would have been, you know, CG extensions, CG character, you know, he'd have been zooming around in some sort of ridiculous cartoonish way. And no, he has a hard respect and a hard authority for practicality when you can be practical. And it holds up so much better because of it. These movies look great. I was rewatching Terminator 2 yesterday, day before. Looks great still. Why? Because they are throwing cars off of things. They are blowing things up. You know, they are finding the right ways to do the makeup, to light the makeup, to put the prosthetics on. And so, you know, Del Toro has that same sort of mindset of, you know, keep it as real as possible, keep it as rugged as possible, and it makes the film hold up so much better. So even if you aren't all, you know, if you're listening to this without having watched the Hellboy films, 1, I'm confused why you're here. 2, fret not about it looking terrible. It's going to look better than most of the crap that you watch nowadays anyway.
Yeah, totally. Honestly. And to go on a brief sidebar here, you must have loved, with all that being said, Dark Fate Terminator.
I haven't watched.
Oh, Paul, you have to. If you love practical effects, James Cameron is back producing. He makes sure they get it right.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
I'm sure you must have been heartbroken to hear about Avatar 2, 3, 4, and 5 being
getting
pushed
delayed.
Back. Yeah.
The tragedy of tragedies. You know what? At this point, it is. I just need to watch something now.
Yeah, for sure. Now, have you seen the Hellboy animated films? I have not.
No.
There's a couple animated ones that
I am aware of them. I think I have seen one of them like a while ago in some sort of context. But I certainly didn't like get up on any of that before this. I was like, we're doing the big live action ones. So
well, I saw that. I don't have them, but I saw that they're I don't have them, but that they are available on 4K. You may have to pop on those.
No. There's a laundry list of things I need first.
Yeah, same. All right, well, anything else about Hellboy 2?
No, not really.
All right, out of 5?
Honest, probably 4.5.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get to the good stuff here. Let's get to the Hellboy reboot, which came out in 2019. And this one is directed by Neil Marshall. It stars David Harbour as Hellboy. It also has Sasha Lane. Oh boy, the cast is all mixed up here. Brian Gleason, Ian McShane,
Daniel Day-Kim.
Yep. Mila Jovovich, and a few others, I think. The synopsis is based on the graphic novels by Mike Mignola. Wait, how do you say it? Mignola? Mignola. By Matt. Oh my God, I can't talk. Forget it. Hellboy, caught between the worlds of the supernatural and human, battles an ancient sorceress bent on revenge. This one, against a budget of $50 million, made $44.7 million. So it's so the lowest grossing of all three, and the most poorly received critically,
and the cheapest made.
Yeah,
and you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to start this one?
I guess. So this one had a lot of production troubles, as it seems like a lot of Lionsgate produced blockbusters do. Like they're the studio that brought us Gods of Egypt, Paul. Classic.
Yeah.
I had heard about the movie when it came out. I had some curiosity. I liked Neil Marshall because he did The Descent, which is a fantastic horror film. I was excited that it was R-rated, which I guess that's what we should say is this one brought in the R rating, whereas the first two were PG-13. I didn't see it in theaters, but I was kind of waiting for it to become cheap enough to rent. It's not good per se. I want to love it so much because there are interesting elements to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think David Harbour is as good a Hellboy as Ron Perlman. I think he doesn't fill the shoes, but he doesn't do like such a horrible job that you're just like tearing your eyes out. I don't think he's serviceable in the role, but it's essentially the opposite of what we've just discussed. It's plot driven. It's poorly written. The characters are nothing in the movie, really. Relationships are forced and cliched. It doesn't look very good for the most part. There are a few interesting character designs, but the CG is awful. Even when it first came out, it looks terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's boring. It's like, talk about pacing issues. This movie, like I paused it 30 minutes in and rewatching it, and I knew how far I had gotten because I had seen it before. I could not believe I was only 30 minutes in. I was like, oh my God, I still have an hour and a half left. It's felt like 2 hours already.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The one strong point of the movie, I really enjoy Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
She's kind of at home in this genre, in these B movie or these B grade blockbusters. Like she's known for the Resident Evil movies, especially. But I really like her. I really like the assembling of the body parts. All of that is excellent. And that's like very Del Toro-esque, kind of getting back to those interesting designs. But they're too few and far between. I love Sasha Lane from American Honey. She is not good in this. I'm not blaming her. No. Her accent is so off.
Oh, yeah.
She and Daniel Day-Kim, that love story is just, or even, I don't even know what it is really. That partnership is nothing.
And those accents on both of them are terrible.
Yes.
Neither of them can do it.
Yeah. Well, that's just a few thoughts.
Just a few. No, I mean, you're completely right. So I started here. Lauren and I talked about it, and it was like, we can either go through the two Del Toro ones and then finish on the 2019 one, or we can start at the 2019 one and then finish with the good ones.
Yeah, and see, that's what I did, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Best way to do it.
Get this one out of the way.
Yeah. I'll give the movie this. Mila Jovovich is doing her darndest on making that part work. The Grugak is a good design, and I like that he is sometimes a puppet. David Harbour is the right actor for the part in a script that is written more like a Del Toro film.
Yeah.
He does not do discount Deadpool, discount Ash from The Evil Dead well. And that's really what they do, is they take Hellboy and they're like, we're going to turn him into Ash in Ash versus the Evil Dead, a Deadpoolian sort of, loudmouth vulgar anti-hero with a certain level of awareness. And honestly, like, his relationship with Professor Broom in this one isn't even as good, because Ian McShane is just giving me plate Ian McShane. Like, I'm just getting standard issue Ian McShane. Yeah. It was enough of a paycheck to get him out of bed. It was not enough of one to get him to act. There are some things that I really, again, wish that I did like more. I like the notion of this giant hunting society. That seems like a lot of fun. Too bad it's wasted. I like the notion of this were-jaguar thing that you have going. Too bad it's wasted, because you pissed away your CG budget everywhere else in the movie so that I only get like 2 minutes of this jaguar at the main fight, and then like some glances of him during the final sequence where we actually figured out the Hellboy movie that we wanted to make.
Yes.
So overall, it's a disorderly, often ugly mess. David Harbour is having to act past, I think, more makeup than Ron Perlman had. And I think that's holding him back as well, is because he's trying to, emote past 20 pounds on his face alone. No, it's just messy. It has a lot of the same problems for me that like early Bond movies have, which is like, great, this is a fun enough sequence, I guess, but like, why am I watching this character do this right now? This is not the order of events that the plot should be taking. Why is it like this? And for the R rating, for me, it's even more sanitized than the Del Toro ones, because at least in the Del Toro ones, I'm getting some real stuff in there where I can feel the sweat and the grime and the head. It's so perpetually CG that none of it matters in any kind of way. Yeah. What is Hellboy's vulnerability? I don't know. What's his ability level? I don't know. He goes from competent, stone-fisted Winter Soldier over here to, Mr. Magoo. And it's a frustrating film on a lot of levels. And it clearly thought it was getting sequels, which is laughable beyond laughable. Yeah. I didn't know that I wanted a shitty prequel to the first Hellboy movie, and I'm glad that I got it.
There you go.
It can't even do the birth sequence as well.
Oh, it's brutal. Brutal.
The best thing about it was like the 3D lenses, like the red and blue with the swastika on the red one, just the pure style.
Now, Thomas Hayden Church can
as
be
the
funny.
Lobster.
Yeah. It just was so bad in this. I did not like him. And with Del Toro, he feels more genuine and going over the top. But Neil Marshall, he can be stylized, but it's not really goofy. It's more horror oriented, and you get more of that towards the end. But I don't like the birth sequence in this. I do really like the priest slaughter. That's good. The messiness of the movie, the editing, I couldn't really tell you what the first two, like, I couldn't really describe in detail what the first two were about, But in this one, it's like, what the hell is going on? You know?
Like, just so many plot events after plot event after plot event. And it's like, so you're telling me that this group of giant hunters brought him out here to kill him on the day that they also still needed to kill the giants, but didn't think, hey, let's use them to kill the giants first, and then we'll kill him after. No. You were like, hey, mid-objective, let's do a side quest. And it was the most doomed idea fathomable, and it makes you mad because it's like, this isn't good suspense, this isn't good tension, this is just stupidity. These people are just blatantly stupid. And the movie just goes like that. Alice learning how to punch spirits out of people.
Love that.
How'd you learn that? I don't know. Well, then I'm glad it's here. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad this was an earned moment. And, you run into the same issue. And then I had all sorts of questions. I was like, why can't she punch the spirit out of everyone? And, my fiance was like, oh, I think it's just dead people. And I'm like, well, that wasn't made clear. Okay. Like, it wasn't made clear that she could only punch the spirits out of undead zombies. So, just a schlock fest. It makes Resident Evil look like art. Like, honestly, it should have been a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. This would have been in better hands.
Yes.
With him. And I never thought that I would ever utter that sentence.
Well, hey, Paul, I can't wait to tell you our next bonus show together.
Is it Resident Evil?
Hey, I mean, why not?
Sure. Screw it.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like it's all just made up on the spot, you know? It's convenience. It's not thoughtful at all. Because really all of it is to service the plot. It doesn't really care about the characters all that much from what I can see.
No, not at all.
And the talking about humor, the joke about him touching his phone and breaking it, the worst.
I got a light touch breaks phone.
Shit.
Great joke.
Yeah, it happens 2 or 3 times at least.
I'm laughing now.
Yeah. I do like I don't know what you would call it, the flashback or the dream sequence where it's like you see Hellboy in medieval times I guess that's what it is.
I think that's like post-apocalyptic.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's like a vision of it's Lady Galadriel in the water, some things that have not yet come to pass.
Gotcha. Yeah. That I like the look of it. I just wish there was more of it.
Yeah. And, Ron Perlman, whenever he let the demon out, always felt in control. And that was one note that I really had about this movie, was that when David Harbour lets the demon out and becomes Hellboy, I was like, oh, so you're just like a slave to this raw power that you have. Like, you're no better than Jean Grey in the third X-Men movie. You're just sort of a slave to its will until that moment where your hairball father ghost tells you not to. What a great hero moment. So it was, and it's such a shame because I love David Harbour and I've enjoyed him. I've enjoyed seeing David Harbour randomly since Revolutionary Road.
Yeah.
Which again is like 2007, 2008, somewhere in there.
Yep.
And so then when he got on Stranger Things, I was like, I love this actor. And then I found out that he was Hellboy, and I was like, that's the right call. Like, if I had to pick someone after Ron Perlman, that's probably the right guy.
Right.
And he got stuck with a shit hand. Like, he got dealt just a bad hand. And him getting the part was even like a whole hubbub for him, because then it became like this entire toxic fan war online with people that were really butthurt about what happened to Ron Perlman. And Ron Perlman was very openly, publicly angry about what happened to Guillermo and Hellboy 3. And I can't say that I blame him. You maybe weren't hitting big, but you were hitting.
Yeah.
And currently, they're now at a loss on this franchise. And so it's like, which did you prefer, guys? Did you prefer your little money, or did you prefer your no money?
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. it just feels so recycled.
Yeah.
You know, with no heart.
Clearly, look, no offense to anyone who, like, you know, worked on this, to Neil Marshall, to anyone involved. And I'm sure that for them, they do have some level of interest, but, like, Guillermo got it. You know, he clearly knew who the character was. He clearly bonded with it. It's a classic sort of, you know, Frankenstein's monster kind of story. And I think that old gothic horror element of the character clicked with Del Toro so well that then you get to Neil Marshall, who did one good horror movie and one really weird, almost Resident Evil movie. And he was like, what vein do I go down? Well, Guillermo already went down that one, so I guess I'll go down this one. And I respect that urge for, like, not wanting to go down the same path, but, like, this whole thing was a disaster. And none of it feels like Hellboy. Oh my god, Baba Yaga. One of the ugliest things I've ever seen put on film. And not even in this was fun design. It is just hard to look at.
Yes.
Jeez, and I Baba Yaga's a fun, interesting character in the comics. You know, she acts as she does in Russian folklore in the comics, and I don't know what this wooden-legged, almost Miyazakian horror figure was, but no.
Yeah. In talking about Neil Marshall and I think one of the best moments where you see inspiration and style come through is the final attack, like city demolish monster attack, like where it becomes almost like Mortal Kombat. Yeah, like where he's shredding people in half and like skin is being peeled off. Where he's walking and you see bodies are stacked, like are almost his bones of his legs. Yeah. Like that stuff I love. And I just wish there was so much more of that consistently. But it's like you get these little sneak peeks at a world that is so much more interesting than what you've seen for the last 2 hours. Yeah, for sure. And also, I don't know, maybe some of the old stories are kisses of death, but I feel like lately every movie that has included, like, King Arthur and its lore, or Robin Hood. Great film. Transformers, The Last Night, included some King Arthur and its mythos. Hellboy. See, the thing, with The Last Night, I think the best part of that movie is the opening medieval fight. Probably. You know, now Stanley Tucci's whole thing, get that out of there. But yes, but no, I agree. But no, you know, if I could ask for anything, it would just be that we eventually get a third Hellboy movie. But unfortunately, I know that we're not going to get that. We're just going to get another probably ill-conceived reboot down the road. Yeah, that will, if we're lucky, be better than this Hellboy, but will probably not reach the heights of Golden Army, and if we're lucky, it'll be as good as the first Hellboy was. And that's like our current benchmark, is like, let's at least try and get back to comfortable good. Yeah, we're gonna get another Amazing Spider-Man before we get we're gonna get a lot of things before we get another Hellboy movie. I'm trying to think if there's the CG. It's just already very dated, overused, and yet underutilized. Yes. Yeah. Let's see if there's anything else about this one. I don't mind the giant fight. No, it's fun enough. There's too much CG blood, but you know, it's a moment of excitement, I guess. And, like, I don't mind the notion of the giant fight. I just hate its placement, I guess. Yes. Totally. All right. Well, now, I mean, I guess since it's been a year since you've been on this show, we could talk a little bit about, well, I mean, I guess we can give star ratings, and then we can maybe just touch on a couple comic book movies very briefly. Recent ones. Out of 5 for the Hellboy reboot?
Half a star.
I'll go 2 because I do love those.
You know what? I'll give it a whole star for David Harbour alone.
Okay,
it's his star.
Fair enough. Yeah, yes, just
he
him.
Gets it.
All right. Well, just as a little epilogue, I guess, Paul, how did last year look for you, comic book movie wise, or just movie wise? I mean, if no rules here. So
movie wise, it was kind of a slow year for me, I guess. So during the time that like a whole bunch of new movies were coming out and that kind of thing, I was just starting teaching. I was in a long distance relationship. My fiance was living in New York. I was living in Texas. So we had, a lot of job constraint issues, a lot of time constraint issues. And so actually in terms of new movies, like did not see a lot for like the last year. Pretty far behind. But
what did you think of Joker?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, really? Okay. I'd be curious to see what you think.
The last new movie that I saw, I guess, was... Okay, so I saw Greyhound recently. I watched that with my parents.
How is that?
It's fine.
Yeah.
Your dad will love it.
Seemed fine.
I've seen some other new things. I've seen Onward. I've seen some of the stuff that's been released at home. I saw Hamilton. But I've been really going back and sort of revisiting a lot of older stuff that I very much enjoy, or even some stuff that like I kind of remember liking, but I want to see if I still like it. And so I've been doing a lot of that, especially with Lauren, because she's a stage and theater person, and so film and television isn't necessarily quite as much her bag, and so there's been a lot of return to
nice.
There have been some new things. As far as the state of film right now, I don't know. As far as the new things that were coming out, honestly, I wasn't too compelled.
Not a Mulan.
I was more interested. Out of all the Disney live-action remakes, Mulan was the one that had my interest probably the most piqued, just because it was trying to be like a proper Chinese big-budget action movie with high wire work.
Yes.
And I was like, that looks cool. At least it's not going to be Beauty and the Beast.
Yes.
So...
But now we're getting our own little spin-off Disney Plus series, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
So excited for that.
But so I guess regarding the state of cinemas, like especially now that I've got a great sound system, I've got a fucking great TV. I'm not sure what greater reason I have to leave the house because I do miss watching theaters on a screen, but you know what I don't miss? Shitheads in my theater.
Oh, yeah.
And management that refuses to kick shitheads out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll say this, I love movies. I'll always love movies. There are plenty of movies that I am still excited about, just not as many as I used to be. But if movies really, I think, want people back after the shutdown that we're in right now, you have to offer people better than the 9th Dark Phoenix reboot.
Great film.
The 3rd Disney, Wreck-It Ralph sequel. Yeah. Like, you need, I think that to really get people to, like, come back, I need stuff from people like Jordan Peele, from people like Guillermo, from people like Chris Nolan. And I respect the hell out of him for pushing Tenet. I think he needs to give up the ghost, but I still respect the hell out of him for doing it. Because honestly, like, I don't know, maybe I'll see Black Widow in theaters.
Yeah.
And, like, I love the MCU. You know me. I have seen literally the first entirety of Phase 1 through Phase 3. Every single one of them. Theater, opening night. Boom.
Yeah.
Didn't miss a one. I might miss Black Widow.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, what did you think of Endgame?
Loved it. I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. I think that it ends a lot of things the way that I wanted it to. I think that it dropped the ball in some places that it shouldn't have. I think that the only person thus far who has really known how to write the Hulk effectively was Joss Whedon. I think Taika made him a humorous character in Ragnarok, which worked there. And then I feel like the Russos ran with that. And I felt like that kind of undercut some of what I wanted to have happen with Bruce and with Hulk across both films, Infinity War and Endgame. But I ultimately really enjoyed it a lot. It's not my favorite of the MCU. It's probably top 5, but it's not my favorite one.
Yeah. What is your favorite?
Civil War, maybe? Or Winter Soldier?
Yeah, Winter Soldier is mine.
Probably one of those two, just because I think that that's where you get a lot more, again, nuance, a lot more character moment. There's some really good, profound stuff. You know, unfortunately, Endgame, and a lot of people call it a critique of the MCU, but, like, get over it. You binge watch shit all the time. Don't be a crybaby. You watch how much Game of Thrones, nerd? Shut up.
Yeah.
So you can call it a critique. The movies do build on each other. It is a series. It is sequential. You have to fucking show up. Yeah. And so Endgame is predicated on, like, the emotional reliefs of 20-some films. And so I was super into it because I was a part of that whole journey. But, you know, as a standalone film, like, I would probably just call it good.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's great because of what it stands for and because of what it is. And it ends the story well. Right. But as far as, like, individual chapters, it's not my favorite chapter of the book.
Yeah. Well, what, are you interested in seeing the Justice League Snyder cut?
Am I interested in seeing it? No. Am I going to see it? Yes.
Yes.
Because I already have HBO Max.
Lucky guy.
Well, my parents already had HBO, so, you know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, auto upgrade. It helps.
Yeah.
And so, will I watch it? Yes. I'm glad that they have already clarified, like, no, we aren't bringing this back. No, this is not. You're going to get the Justice League too. Because I didn't want it to be that. I didn't want this to be like them testing something. I really do give them a lot of credit for allowing Zack Snyder to come back and do this, because I can understand him wanting to come back and finishing it after what happened.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's kind of like with Hellboy, you know? It was Guillermo's baby, and then suddenly they were like, no, we're going to take it, and we're going to interfere with it, and we're going to give it to someone else who isn't going to get it as well, and they're going to do what we tell them to, and it's going to be fine. Yeah. And you just can't do that shit. It's been proven literally almost all of the time. So right, wrong, or indifferent, am I going to watch it? Yes. Do I look forward to it? No. Why? I saw Batman versus Superman. So
will it be better than what we have already?
It'll just be a different taste of shit.
It'll be an hour longer.
Yeah. It'll just be someone else's terrible cooking. You know, I'm trying to think of a good option to describe it. It's so, you know, I'm sure that I'll pick one as a favorite.
Yeah.
That being what it is. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go and buy up, I am going to do this, I'm going to buy up the old Justice League on disc before it can no longer be found.
That's a good call. A good call.
Because I didn't realize this, in the old Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr., the first one, it's not Jared Harris as Moriarty.
Right. Yeah.
And so now if you go and buy like a more recent version of Sherlock, they've gone back and they've changed it.
Oh.
And it's no longer the first guy. It's now Jared Harris. And so I've got like one of the old Blu-rays from before Jared Harris was cast, and like I'm holding on to it for the rest of forever now.
Gotcha. Okay.
And like the moment that NBC was like, we're pulling all of the episodes of 30 Rock with blackface, I was like, I'm going to go and find it on disc. And so like I went and I got it on complete series. And so now I have all of the contraband. I have all the ones they don't want you to see. So I'm definitely going to pick up. And I never thought that I would spend this much money on Justice League. But I'm definitely going to buy it before it is gone forever.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else about either Hellboy or cinema in general, Paul?
I'll say this about cinema. So I've been going through all of the old Bond films with Lauren, and I do absolutely adore how much historical context and information is in the context of a film. Yeah. And one thing that I truly love is going back and you pick up on, okay, this is a prominent theme that they were dealing with at this time, because I'm seeing it in this movie and in this movie and in this movie and in this movie, all from within 3 years of each other. And so I think that film is such an exciting medium because unlike stage, which can capture a moment in time in how it was written, but it'll never capture that moment in time again in how it sounds. Yeah. And so film, I think, just has this really great ability for you to capture a moment, capture a time, capture a sense of the artist at work, because it also is, part signature, part portrait. And so I love films. I would love to be as excited about movies as I once used to be.
Back at the UNCG days.
Honestly, I think even earlier than that. But no, because it is so great. And when you really get like a great film going, like you do have a wonderful, wonderful piece of art on your hands. And watch more movies. They're a great intro into understanding people. Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I mean, and we've talked about it on the regular show, but that's one of my favorite things about watching older films is like you truly get to look into another time. You know, it's like those, even if it's a staged or it's a set, it's still 1945 or whenever it is, so I think that's interesting on its own, even if the movie is shit. It's like, it's just a great look into another time. So that's a good way to put it. All right. Well, I guess that about does it for the show. Paul, always a great time, and I'm glad that you're doing well, and it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for having me. I always enjoy coming on. Whenever you want me around, I'm always around. So
yeah, hey, tonight I might brush off my Resident Evil Blu-rays.
Okay.
But no, you're welcome anytime for either another bonus show or for if you want to come on the regular show as well. That would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. Hit me up, let me know, and who knows, maybe we'll have to get you on to Sane Show sometime.
Please, I would love to. All right, well, everybody, thank you so much again for downloading. Again, the donations just go to help support the show, so we really appreciate that to the nth degree. I really do appreciate you doing that. All right, well, we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And we'll see you next time.